Despite the fact that this hotel is 129 years old, there are a few occupants who have checked in but have never checked out. Those of you who are more uncomfortable may choose to travel to the hills in order to escape a city filled with dressed-up ghouls and goblins on Halloween, which is just around the corner. If you are also a person who gets worried when you see ghosts, you should stay away from the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. While staying at the Fairmont Banff Springs, you can come across any of the following spectral figures, which are just a few examples. She is even featured on her own stamp and coin, and the tale of the Ghost Bride goes back to the late 1920s. She is perhaps the most renowned of all the ghosts who reside at the Fairmont Banff Springs, and she is even featured on her own stamp and coin. According to the legend, on the day of the young couple's wedding, the bride, who was dressed in her bridal gown, made her way down one of the marble stairs that were located in the hotel. She was frightened by something, which resulted in her collapsing and falling. It has been said that she experienced a heel catch in the hem of her dress. Some others claim that her clothing came into contact with the flame of a candle. The bride sadly passed away on those stairs, regardless of the circumstances that led to her death. Since that time, both the employees of the hotel and the visitors have claimed seeing a figure in a veil wandering up and down the stairs, or seeing a figure in a wedding dress dancing in the ballroom above, yearning for the first dance she had with her husband that she never had. Since his demise in 1975, tales about Sam Macaulay, a kind old Scotsman who served as the hotel's top bellman throughout the 60s and 70s, have been passed around the establishment. Sam is said to be a kind of spirit that is helpful, and the most of the tales that include him mention some kind of assistance that he has offered to either the staff or the visitors. Two elderly ladies called the bell desk for help after discovering that their key would not function. This was one of the incidents that occurred. Due to the fact that the normal bellman was handling other responsibilities, he did not answer for 15 minutes. The door had already been unlocked by the time he arrived at their residence. According to one of the ladies, they were assisted by an elderly bellman who was wearing a plaid blazer. This bellman was a perfect match for Sam's description. There have been other accounts of visitors seeing apparitions and feeling cold spots on the 6th, 7th, or 9th levels of the hotel. These accounts include people who have seen Sam haunting his former workplace, which is now a guest room, which is located on the mezzanine floor. Even though they would prefer not to provide room numbers, the staff has said that there are certain rooms that are haunted. Some guests have said that while they were sleeping, the pillows were pulled out from beneath their heads, and some have even alleged that they were forced off the bed by an unknown entity. Whatever ghosts or spirits are lingering in this chamber, it is reasonable to assume that if they are unable to find peace, they are determined to ensure that you are unable to do the same. Another room that will remain nameless has a narrative that can be told in a variety of ways, but the primary idea is that it was the location where a whole family was killed, and ever since then, visitors who have been staying in that room have reported being roused from their sleep by the sound of screaming. When they switched on the lights, they would see bloody handprints on the mirror where they were standing. Depending on who is telling the tale, the handprints either vanished before the hotel workers had a chance to wipe them, or they chose not to come off at all. On the other hand, if you go to the level where the room is supposed to be, you will discover that it has been totally covered and is inaccessible from the corridor. This is either because the room is said to be haunted, or because it is being renovated, depending on who you ask.